Hello everybody, and welcome to the first actual episode of Gaming Inspirations. Let's go ahead and get to some of the different pieces of artwork. Okay, this first piece of art is actually a, graphite on paper, so it's a pencil drawing basically. I did this back in my Drawing 1 class about a year and a half ago, and in case you haven't been able to tell from the characters or from the buggy that they're on, this was actually based on it was an old picture that was released for Borderlands back before the game even came out. Went ahead and found this picture and pretty much did my own version of it as, simply a black and white drawing. And this one went up in the student art show, I think holiday of 2009. So, yeah, did pretty good. I think I did a decent job on it, since this was actually my first drawing class I've ever taken. And, yeah, it's me, so obviously I had to make it video game related. Here we have picture number 2. This piece was also in the... what the hell show did I put this one on? This was in the holiday 2010 show that just passed for Florida State College at Jacksonville. And this is pretty much just cut paper project. Don't know how else to explain it. But pretty much, as you can tell, it goes from the starting point in the upper left, across, and then back down, and across to the end. Now, this may not really look like a video game itself, but the idea behind this was actually, if anyone has played the game Rez that was out for the PS2, essentially as you go through the level and pick up more power-ups, your little ball that starts at the beginning ends up changing shape and form, and yeah, you proceed through the level and the world around you changes as well. So I wanted to go based on that idea and principle and create my own little world where, start out as a ball right over here. As you can see, he's moving down the path, starts to change form, getting to more of like a humanoid shape now. And between these 2 points, a bunch of shit pops up in front of him, so he has to develop a means to move around them. There he's getting to the end. Once he gets around those obstacles, he notices it's just nothing but a giant wall in front of him. What else to do other than to get ready to take flight and get over the wall into the sky? Probably seems kind of lame, but yeah, definitely endeavor to take on that project. I should add in my own arrogance here that all these projects were done at the last minute, because I'm a cocky bastard and thought I could do them all at the last minute. Turns out I could, so that doesn't really help. I'm still a procrastinator and I'm still trying to get over that. And moving on from this one here, you know what? What was the name for this one? I think this one was called De-Evolution? I don't know. Let's go ahead. The name of it should be on the back. Oh, it's just Evolution. Right. And as you can see on the back here, I had my whole storyboard for it. Kind of had a lot more detail in it, but with cut paper, there's only so much you can do, and once again, procrastinated, so really only so much you can do if you're a dumbass and do that. Alright, picture 3, I'm going to say right off the bat, definitely not my best work. For some reason, the professor actually liked it. She really liked the dirty red. But the game behind this one is actually Mirror's Edge, which really doesn't reflect through. But the concept behind it is, obviously, if you've seen Mirror's Edge, everything is white and blue. Well, for this project, I had to use 3 colors, and it could either be primary or secondary colors. I went with primary because I could use the blue and the red, and I had the really sickening yellow behind it as the sky. Now, if you play Mirror's Edge, you know pretty much everything around you is white and blue, generic scenery of a cityscape, and everything that you can pretty much go and jump off of or grab onto or slide on is red. And also enemies, guns, everything else is red. Anything that you can interact with. So I went ahead and did a blue cityscape with a figure that's supposed to be behind some blinds with his shadow casting on the blinds and on the window in front of him, which explains the blue lines going across, and the red figure which is appearing to be stripy. And then we have a bunch of figures in the background all running around on top of these buildings as free runners, going up these cranes and mats and stuff. And it's supposed to be the free runners going with the corruption behind the windows, watching over them, trying to figure out how to get rid of them. Once again, not my best work, but nonetheless. Another image. This one is based on, well, if you haven't figured it out by now, it's based on Tron. Now, at the time of the end of this class, when the last painting, this one, and the next one are coming up, it was our final project, so I wanted to tie them all into my own world. So, went ahead and found this little concept logo that somebody came up with for Tron and decided to do it in my own way. This one had to be with 3 colors. God, I think it's analogous colors, the 3 that are next to each other on the color wheel, so I've got a blue, a green, and a blue-green. The background, even though it looks black, is actually a very dark blue. So we could use different shades and tones, tints, everything else. But as you can see, I went ahead, put a blue figure, which is merely shown as outline on there, jumping onto his light cycle, which is 2 different tones of green, 2 different shades of green, whatever. I'm not a painter. And then you can see the grid below. Once again, not really my best work, but I actually do really like the detail of this one, and I guess just the ambiguity at the same time. There's parts of it that are detailed, and a lot of it that's just left up to the imagination. So that's picture number 4. Last but not least, and then we're definitely not least, because this was my favorite among the 3 paintings from this past semester's projects. We have kind of my take on Assassin's Creed. I know it's not quite there, it's kind of hard to make out at the same time. Essentially, it is a, well, as you can tell from the hand there is a body off the page with his hand laying across the page, and he's on like a cobblestone, beaten up, old century road. And as you can see, there is for some reason a modern storm drain there. I didn't put too much thought into that, with a sidewalk, which doesn't really come across well at all. I'm horrible at critiquing my own work because I will nitpick every little thing. As you can see, obviously he was murdered, got the blood flow going down into the storm drain from his body, which is off scene here. Got the iconic little feathers from the first game. However, that's obviously in that one, Altair took the feathers with him with the mark of blood. In this one, the character is actually left holding the feather as like a trademark to the series. Then all around, I have these little pink hexagons going all the way across, which are supposed to be basically the view of being taken out of the Animus. So one could possibly assume that that is your assassin laying there on the ground, failed a mission and was killed. I honestly didn't look that much into it myself. I just kind of do whatever pops into my head and let others come up with a story. This first episode of Gaming Inspirations. I hope everyone has enjoyed it. Once again, feel free to comment on any of the pictures that I brought up. Feel free to post anything that you'd like to see me take on as a challenge. And starting up next week, I will probably start showing off concept art of some of the final projects I'm going to be putting into my portfolio. So until then, happy gaming everyone. Have a great week. Keep on watching.